what an amazing week.
I wish it was longer than a week.
After 5 full days of new technology, new information, and new business deals, the Plastic Show is wrapping up.
It's been great.
Jacob Sanchez here with NPE TV. We made it. This is it. The final day of the largest plastic show in the Americas. It's coming to a close. But the things that we learned here, the knowledge that we gained, the business relationships that we created are going to be with us and this industry for many years to come.
More than 50,000 attendees walked the exhibit floor this week. Many of them are headed home with cool stuff like this and a whole lot more.
Lots of good talks we've attended and finding new technologies that companies have to offer. Lots to visit. It's great to meet with people face to face for making connections and finding new suppliers.
Oh, the scope is absolutely huge. Kind of shocking just to come here and see how big this is and really just, all the vendors that are possible here. It's just amazing.
The vision systems that they got involved, it's pretty intricate stuff that they got going on. You know, the automation involved with all of it. A lot of the manufacturers around here have a lot of intricate stuff going on inside of it. So it's pretty exciting to see where the future is going to go.
Welcome back to NPE TV. I'm Amy Sweezy. Matt Seaholm is here, CEO. Thank you so much.
We're still here, Amy.
We're still here. We're toward the end of the show. How do you feel?
Oh, it's great. You know, the feedback we've received is really remarkable how great everybody has had for a show. I think the 6 years, the pent-up demand, everybody was so excited to get back together. It's just added up to a great show.
What's the biggest thing you learned this week?
Biggest thing I've learned, I think the commitment to sustainability is across the board. That is actually something that I wanted to see, and it is clear that everybody is committed to it, and it's something we wanted them to say, but we weren't sure that they would. They did. They came through. There's no doubt anybody walking away knows the theme, sustainability for plastics.
And that, of course, was one of the very big new things for this year, the Sustainability Hub. Happy with how that turned out?
Yeah, it was great. It was the first time we've done the Sustainability Hub. We set it up really in a circular fashion because it's about the circular economy. Mm-hmm. It has so many great features. I talked to some folks in there this morning. They said the traffic has been good. I think a lot of people came here also wanting to be educated, and it was a great platform for education on sustainability.
The Women in Plastics Breakfast.
Yes, another great success. That was, I think there's going to be a lot coming out of that. We sold it out. I'm sure we'll do that again, but I think what's also going to come from that is there have been a number of discussions about a Women's in Plastics group, and not this once every 3 years we'll throw a breakfast, but how is there networking that is done every year over the course of a 3-year cycle. So I think there's a lot that's going to come out of NPE, and that could be one of them.
Can you break down some of the numbers? I know
Sure.
This was a huge show.
It was, and there were a lot of unknowns coming into it, but everything really played out the way we were hoping it would. Biggest number is 50,000 plus registrants. That was a big number that we wanted to hit. We hit it. On top of that, you had a younger generation here, 30% under the age of 40. That's a big thing. Whether they're decision makers actually buying equipment this time, they will be. That's that next shift in buyers that folks want to have here, exhibitors in particular.
So NPE 2024, a huge success. Anything else you'd like to add about this week?
I gotta say, I appreciate everybody that has shown up. There's so much work that has gone into it, from our team to our vendors, but also all of the exhibitors who have put so much time and investment into their booths, their exhibits, their displays, their machines. It has been great, and we appreciate everybody that's been here.
Matt, thank you for joining us on NPE TV.
Thanks, Amy.
We appreciate your time.
You bet.
We'll see you in 2027.
Darn right.
Right now, this is NPE 2024.
Current and soon-to-be college students from around the country gathered at the Plastics Show for the Student Career Development Workshop. The event gives them access to NPE as well as various career-building seminars. A student's first time here at NPE, you've been in student workshops all day. What was your favorite thing that you learned?
I actually learned that it doesn't matter your background, you can always go into plastics. Wherever you're at, if you take a couple classes in college, you can always figure out a way to help the environment, especially in those the sustainability aspects.
And you're about to go hit the show floor for the first time all day. What are you excited to like maybe learn or see?
Well, I'm excited to see the machines. I've seen a bunch of different things that they make different products, so I want to learn a little bit more about them, and also as well what other sustainability aspects that I could learn from.
Tour group leader 3 of 5. Man, I gotta know, you've been in student workshops all day long. What was the coolest thing or just the most interesting that you learned?
The most interesting thing to me was just learning how to market myself to companies. So when I graduate, how I can get a job easier, learning how to build my resume to look good for companies, building my LinkedIn profile. I had yet to do that. So learning all these things, making me more valuable to these companies, looking better. It was just a great experience learning what these companies are looking for and how to get a better job in the industry once I graduate. So.
And it looks like your tour group is about to head out real quick. What are you excited to go see out on the show floor right now?
I'm most excited to just see everything. There's so much stuff to see here and learn. It's a great experience, so I'm excited for that.
Recycling to me is very real, and it's in every single product.
We make our bottles so they can be recycled, they're easy to recycle, and there's nothing in them that can't be recycled.
Recycling into your process is not only business smart, but human nature smart.
I'm second generation Niagara employee. I like working here because Niagara gives you a sense of freedom.
Recycling is real. I see it day to day, shift to shift.
Absolutely, recycling is real, recycling happens.
Welcome back to NPE TV. I'm Amy Sweezy. My next guest is Jason Barton. Jason is the Chief Revenue Officer at Ducane. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me, Amy.
So, why are you here? NPE 2024, we're back.
We're excited to be back finally, right?
Yes.
It's been 6 years. That's a big reason we're back. We've missed our customers. It's been a long time seeing, it's a great opportunity to bring all your customers to one location. They come to see you.
Right.
And also a big part of this is to find new customers, right? Meet our new partnerships, our new friends.
Right. So just give me a little briefing about Ducane. What do you do? Who are you guys?
So Ducane, we're located in Chicago, outside of Chicago, in a town called St. Charles, 45 miles west of Chicago. Beautiful town. Ducane's we just celebrated 100 years of being in business a few years ago. So we're well over 100 years. We've been in plastic joining since 1970. So we were one of the early pioneers in plastic joining. And so our specialties we're a plastic joining solutions provider. So we just don't sell equipment, but obviously we offer solutions to help our customers solve the problems.
Okay. So when you meet your customers this week, what are you hoping to accomplish?
We brought our what we call SMEs, our subject matter experts, to the show. Mm-hmm. We're doing tech talks live. We've got customers coming in or potential customers listening to our experts talk about how do I design my part for, we'll say, ultrasonic welding, which is a technology that Ducane offers, one of the many plastic joining technologies.
Okay, so going back to that 6 years ago was the last time we all got together. Mm-hmm. What is new with you guys in the last 6 years?
Well, lots changed. We had just barely announced that we had acquired a company in 2018 when we were here last time. A company called KBT, which for now is branded Ducane KBT, and they're in Germany. So it was a great partnership between Ducane and KBT because we needed a presence in Europe and in Germany. And then we had some patented technology called hot gas welding. And so we're able to use our synergies to offer products across the globe because it's a global market today, as you know. So that was one of the new ones. And then the final one was an acquisition of a laser welding company that really brought experts to Ducane to help us increase our velocity, increase the product launch of what we call our Energy series for laser welding systems.
Okay, so that's a lot going on in the last 6 years.
Yes.
What, looking forward, you said you're more than 100 years old. Now we look forward to the next 100. What are you most excited about moving into the future?
It's the global aspect of Ducane. We've put a lot of hard work in establishing locations across the globe, and it's exciting to see those efforts flourish.
All right. Jason Barton from Ducane, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Amy.
Absolutely.
Appreciate being here.
This is NPE TV at NPE 2024. Using household waste to help plastics become more climate positive. That's what's happening at UBQ Materials. I'm joined now by Albert Dewar. He's the chairman at UBQ Materials. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So tell me a little bit about really this innovative and very unique technology that you have.
So what we're able to do, I hope all of you are good recyclers, okay? But no matter how much we recycle, we end up with what I call the black bag. That bag is full of food waste. It's full of paper and carton, that pizza box that no one wants to compost because it has too much grease, and then it has the unrecyclable plastics, okay? Normally about 80% of what we throw away is actually organic, and only about 10 to 20% are plastic. We take all of that, including things like diapers that we never think about, okay? And not only do we like diapers, we like them dirty, okay? Because we're about the organics. So we take all of that organic waste that you can see here, and we only take two things out, the metals and the minerals. Everything else stays inside. So all that material that you would have sent to the landfill is actually going to get used to make UBQ, okay?
And that turns into, you can either have it
in powder form or in tablet form. But this material that you're looking at here is actually a thermoplastic, okay? That means that you can injection mold 100% UBQ. Okay, which would give you an incredibly sustainable product. But most of us don't want to have to remake our entire capital equipment. We want to use the same extruder or the same injection molder with the same tooling. And that is where UBQ becomes very useful, because UBQ is actually compatible with all of the basic polymers: polyethylene, polypropylene, polystyrene, ABS, and PVC.
And you're not looking to kill plastics. You're just looking to make it more environmentally friendly in products like we see here.
Look, I'm an old plastics hand, okay? I've been in this business for 40 years. I actually think that in many ways we're a transition and a savior for plastics. We can turn existing plastics. I like to build on things. I don't like to destroy to then build.
Right, so like this tray.
Look at this tray. This tray, normally we would be unhappy with it. Why? Because it generates carbon emissions, okay? Generates global warming. It's made out of plastic. We had to use oil for it. Instead of that, everything that we were going to throw away, put in a landfill, here it is. It still uses part of the old material, but a lot of it is made from the new material. Here we can see something where basically this is about 75% UBQ, okay? But it still has some polymer in it. The beauty of it, you can print it, you can do a lot of things that you can't do with plastic, okay? Here we can see profiles for construction. Normally when we talk about the waste, you would think it would have to be black, right? Many people, when they recycle, they can only make black. Look at the different types of colors that we can do with UBQ. So there are many things that we can do with it.
What does this mean really bottom line for the industry and really the environment as a whole?
So imagine a material made 100% from post-consumer material that would have ended up in a landfill, negative 11.7 carbon emissions rather than the 2.5 or 4 that some polymers are. And we are truly a circular economy for the first time. Until now, we've only been able to recycle, to reuse a very small percentage of what we make. Even in wood, it's very difficult. What UBQ allows is that most of what we throw away in our home will now be used to make good things, even furniture, and all those types of things, rather than throwing it away or burning it for now.
Tell me the last time that you were at a trade show and you were looking at a machine and it wasn't just some demo that they made up specifically for that show. It was a customer's product. It was a customer sell. Brother, I am here to hear more about this. I can't believe that behind us right now is an actual customer's machine. They have 6 of them in their facility. Tell me a little bit about this.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, what we show here is not just a showcase for the NPE. That's an existing customer mold with a machine type which is running in his facility. And actually, this system running here is running the same cycle as it will run in his own production facility. At the end, the customer needs to have the highest performance on the system in combination with the highest quality. At the end, we have to ensure that the parts costs are minimized with our system.
You just talked about the parts cost, you talked about the quantity. Yes. This broke a world record for the most bottle caps. It's 128 cavities running 1.87 seconds. What does it mean to you that you're not just hitting a quantity number, but you're trying to focus on that quality. Dive into that a little bit.
Because it doesn't help the customer if you just run a fast cycle. At the end, you have to ensure that you have really good parts. And this is actually what the customer drives. And that was the reason why he chose this combination with set mold and Netztal together, because we ensure that.
I appreciate the work that you and the Netztal team put into making sure that real customers have real solutions, real machines.
This is NPE TV. I'm Amy Sweezy, and my next guest is Patrick Krieger. You are Vice President of Sustainability for the Plastics Industry Association. Thank you for being here.
Happy to be here.
So, of course, so excited to talk about this fantastic topic of sustainability. Can you just start off by, sharing with us the importance of it, just in general?
Sure. So we love to talk about sustainability at our association because we strongly believe that plastics are already the sustainable material of choice, right? From their uses, they enable us to do things that we can't otherwise do with other materials. And when compared to other alternatives like metals, glass, or paper, they have lower carbon footprints. They have better environmental benefits compared to other materials.
I do want to talk specifically about this week, right? NPE 2024. I mean, there's a lot of waste, right? There's so many people here. It's a huge event. I love it. What do you do? How do you prepare for that? How do you plan for that? Absolutely.
We want to be thoughtful about the impacts that we make, right? And you're right, when we have 55,000 people in one place, there's going to be a lot of waste. So we have been working with our partners for years in advance to make sure that we are accommodating that. Whether that is working with the Orange County Convention Center to make sure that the organics that are the food waste that are being generated from the restaurants are being either composted or in many cases diverted to feed other people who can't otherwise, to food banks, people like that. Right. On the show floor itself, we are making a lot of plastic, right? We want to show the machines at work here, but we also have a commitment to recycle. So we ask all of our exhibitors to make sure that any material that they are using or making on the floor, that they commit to recycling that. We as the show ourselves have really helped facilitate that. We have a program here that is at no cost to those exhibitors to recycle the material on site. So we have shredders out back, we collect the material, shred it, and then we take that and it's sold to people to be used as recycled content. We're proud to say that we have the highest diversion rate of any trade show in the United States when it comes to the waste generated.
What do you see as the biggest challenge moving into the future?
The biggest challenge moving into the future is recognizing that a single company can't be sustainable or circular unless the entire industry that they operate in is doing so. And so this is requiring systems level change. And so working together, and one of the greatest things about being at NPE is that it brings all of these different individuals together under one roof to work collectively on these problems. So it's really all about collaborating to solve these higher order issues.
All right, Patrick Krieger, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. This has been great.
I'm so glad we could talk about sustainability.
Me too.
All right, this is NPE 2024.
NPE is a one-stop shop for all things plastic, with more than 2,000 exhibitors filling over 1 million square feet of space here at the Orange County Convention Center. Let's see how the show went for them.
The week's been great. We've been busy every single day. Traffic, seeing people who we expected to see people drop in, and also some, reunion meetups with people in the industry who've been in there for a long time who haven't seen each other in 6 years.
I think this is a great turnout, a lot of activity. This is our last full day and the booth looks packed. I think it's been a really great show. Things have been running really well for us.
Lots of contacts. People seem to be happy about business and new technology.
We're enjoying the show. We switched it up, came with a completely different location here as a vendor. Love where we're at, love what we're doing, and lots of great connections with new people down here as well this year.
To see so many companies focusing on this circular economy, the importance of recycling technologies, all different kinds, from the old kinds where you separate plastics and you kind of clean them up and repelletize them, to technologies that basically depolymerize the plastic into its monomer stage, then repolymerize it, or take impurities out by extraction technology. So there's lots of companies here I noticed that are in that space, and I think that's going to be very healthy for the industry long term as we focus more and more on the environment.
Blowing minds and changing the way we see processes in our facilities. That's what Arberg's doing here at the show today. You and I both know you can only run one type of material in a mold at a time, no exceptions until now. These glasses right here, silicone, thermoplastic, same mold, same time. We're checking it all out, and a fun toolbox because why not? Scratch resistant, shock proof. This is that new thermoplastic and silicone mold, all happening in the same machine, exact same time here at Arborg. And look, the big thing with this is obviously the material science. It's obviously the plastics, but that cell that's running, 2 robots, fully automated, beautiful HMI screen that is collecting data from every moving machine component on that system. That's what the industry is about. That's what we need. We need people in plastics and CNC machining, all these other industries, to take innovations from each other and use those products together to make cells like this, so all your customers, the people that are attending these shows, know you mean business. Attendees were treated to an energetic session by Mars's workplace advocate, Damian Welch. Do you understand what can happen to your business when you empower your workers and you lead with upfront trust? My man Damian does. How's it going, brother?
Great, having a good time.
I got something for you. We've had a beautiful conversation before this show. Now at this show, you were a speaker, you had an amazing group. I want to hear your thoughts for working with a company like Mars. I'm talking about the candy, Mars, and what you do to empower your workers to do more than just the work they're there to do.
Yeah, that's a great question, Jacob. I think the main thing is, and it's the hard thing to do, but it works, is to trust, is to put the space out there for people. We're all adults in the workplace, and it's fascinating how so easily we start to treat people as children when we get into the working environment, particularly perhaps in a manufacturing environment where things necessarily have to be so locked down, right? There are processes, there's a right way to do things, there's not my way, there's a right way. In an environment where so much is controlled, it's really difficult to create empowerment. So taking any opportunity that you can to give people a space for their voice, to have an opinion, to be able to have an idea about how we might improve things around here. So what we do at Mars is to involve every single team in having that conversation, having a voice, being able to talk about the opportunities that there are in their teams so that they can make things go better. And we've been doing that for years now, and it's a proven way to deliver a much better associate experience. So it's all about trust, and that's as a basis for empowerment.
And what do you think? I feel like a lot of time companies think that empowering their workers, it means that they have to lead some type of radical change in the business. It has to be this big thing. I feel like a lot of the times empowering your workers and giving them trust could just be to do their own job well, to be comfortable with coming to their higher ups with their opinions on how they think the process can be done better. What's your take on this vision of how do I empower my workers?
Yeah, my goodness. If I think about the innovation that happens at Mars, and it's a company built on innovation, we are still so much manufacturing. And those innovations so often come from the front line. It's the people that are working the equipment that notice ways, subtle things that can be adjusted and changed in a practice, in a machine, in a process. And that's where the innovation comes from. It's that frontline knowledge. They're so intimately involved in that equipment, in that manufacturing process. And I think, as you say, taking an interest. We have a program at Mars, Make the Difference. It's all about capturing and recognizing that innovation. And it started out to get a communication between the front lines and the leadership. What is it that you don't hear as a leader? Because people, they just want to smile when you come for a site visit. They want to say everything's great. Do they get a chance to really open up to, hey, but what if we did this? And I think what if is such a powerful question. What if we gave you the space? What if we listened for a moment to your idea? What if we heard about your experience of running that machine?
Not everything has to be so radical. Not everything has to be this big mountain that you're moving. It can be a rock. It can be a pebble. It can make a step that your workers take a little bit each day. I love what you're doing for Mars, brother. I love what we can do together for this industry.
Pleasure.
Very excited.
Great talking to you again, Jacob.
Welcome back to NPE TV. I'm Amy Sweezy. My next guest, Dr. Perk Pineda, Chief Economist for Plastics Industry Association. Thank you so much for being here.
Glad to be here. Thank you, Amy, for having me.
So you have a very busy week. You've got a lot of sessions. I would love to chat with you about the session that you did on Monday about the economic impact of plastics.
I had the opportunity to talk about the global economic impact of plastics. And we are an industry in the United States that employs over 1 million people. And so around the world, millions and millions more, so probably over 6 million people are working in the plastics industry globally.
What are some of the challenges that you see with the economic impact?
Some of the challenges we see at the moment is just the economy is not doing as good as we want it to be. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a stellar economy, it's a healthy economy if you remove housing and manufacturing from it. We have seen a slowdown in manufacturing post-COVID-19 because there was a massive increase in consumption of goods. And then we experienced some sort of a slowdown when the economy started to normalize. But the consumption of services in our economy has continued to increase. And so that has kept the economy afloat in the last couple of years. So as the economy is adjusting, we probably don't need as much inventory as we did in 2020 and 2021. But I think this is probably the last year that we will have some slow growth in our sector. Yesterday's forecast, I shared with them my outlook for 2025, and it looks like 2025 would really be a strong year for the plastics industry. Sustainability is an issue that everyone is concerned about. And one of the uniqueness of this industry is that it's always innovating. And for me, innovation is really the solution to the sustainability concerns of those of NGOs and environmental activists and even consumers who are critics of the plastics industry and the plastics products. Because through innovation, we can find new ways of producing things using less material, new design, and perhaps better ways of recycling at a higher rate. And I think eventually this problem will be behind us if we work together collaboratively.
So it's been 6 years since we've had NPE. Are you so excited to be back this year?
Yes, this is actually a pleasant surprise because we were not expecting this many people. Of course, we were optimistic, but I think it has exceeded our expectations, really. The other day, when I walked by the West Hall, by the end of the West Hall, since I'm assigned at West 101A and B in the International Lounge, I was so surprised that in the self-scan and print registration, the line was so long that it hit the entrance door of the West Hall. And so I said, this is a good sign. So we're very happy about it.
All right, Dr. Pineda, thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you for having me.
All right, this is NPE 2024.
The circular economy is a big topic of discussion here at NPE 2024, and nowhere else are you going to see that in action other than here at Craftsmify. They're going to show you how they go from this medical vial to this bottle opener, all here on the show floor. Tommy Smith with Craftsmify joins us now to tell us a little bit about this process, which is really incredible to see.
So the first step in the circular economy is we're running a 32 cavity medical vial mold made with polypropylene grade medical resin. We airbay those parts over to a granulator, and then from the granulator we run through an extruder where we add the blue color back to the reprocessed plastics. And then from there we carry the plastic, convey the plastic over to another electric machine molding the bottle opener.
Right. So, and you can see this live. This is a live demonstration for attendees to come over and check out. Why is seeing something like this so important?
Because it really puts customers in line of what the circular economy is and what we're trying to do here. One of the main focuses that we had here is when we come to the NPE this year is reduce the amount of waste that we put out to the scrap area. We're actually putting a lot less material to the scrap area, and we're using everything here. All of the reprocessed plastic that we have remaining from the show will go back to Florence, Kentucky, where we'll use it in different processes at our shop.
What do you want people to know?
That Craftsmify offers you everything you need to perform the circular economy. Whether it's an extruder, whether it's an injection molding machine, whether it's RPM equipment, I'll have everything that you need.
And you'll be able to take these home too. These
Yeah,
are pretty
and you'll be
useful
able to
as
take
well.
these home. Yes.
All right, very good. Well, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
All
Love
right,
what
thanks.
you're doing here.
This is NPE TV. I'm Amy Sweezy. My next guest is Madison Burt. Madison is the CEO of Wyma America. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So, of course, we want to talk about the recycling center and the recycling situation here at NPE 2024. Sure. But first, just tell me a little bit about Wyma. I know you guys shred and compress. Sure. What do you do? Give me the rundown.
So Wyma is a German manufacturer for machinery for size reduction. At this type of an environment, it's shredders and grinders. And so we'll put systems together to shred and grind and reduce bulky plastic waste, put it back into a form that can be reused in making new products.
And a lot of people who are here at NPE 2024 have probably seen the recycling center. It's pretty cool, and it's air conditioned.
Thank God.
In hot Orlando right
yes,
now.
Correct.
So tell me a little bit about that. How's the recycling center working?
So the way it works is people can walk through and they can see recycling in action, because recycling is real. It is a big thing for the Plastics Association, for the world to know that we are actually doing something about plastics. You know, people think, oh, we're just having this huge plastic show and we're throwing a lot in the garbage. We're not. We're actually showing you that we're taking that material and we're doing something with it.
And so this is not just a show. You're not just putting this on for the
definitely
wows.
not a show.
It's actually the plastics.
You know, we're
that
not
are
doing
being used
10-minute
here.
clips. We're doing full time. We have last show in 2018, there were over 600 tons of waste produced, and we processed about 90% of it. Our goal this year is to do 100%.
And it makes sense to do that at the plastic show.
Sure does.
But there's lots of other places, right, that need this kind of plastic
absolutely.
recycling.
Absolutely. I mean, a lot of the manufacturers that are here at the show have been talking to us about their needs. You know, the world needs to understand that recycling is being done, and I think a lot of these manufacturers are starting to come to grips with they better do something about it.
As a consumer, we always hear, yes, you need to recycle, but then there's all these rules, right? You got to separate things, and you can't put food in there, and you can't and so people kind of get a little frustrated, and they're like, nah, I'm just not going to do it.
Post-consumer material is a little bit more of a challenge. We are dealing with that. They have to do a lot of sorting, segregating, washing in order to get this material cleaned and back into use again. It is being done. It is more difficult, there's no question, but we're getting there. And you know, in 2018, there was a major push worldwide for us not to ship our plastic scrap to the rest of the world. So since then, we've done a pretty yeoman's job trying to deal with it in our own country.
And that leads to my next question. Obviously, there's lots of challenges, but what are you most excited about for the future?
Oh, I think there is a huge future in recycling. I do believe that in the next 10, 15, 20 years, we're going to see plastics at a point where it's sustainable. And I really believe that. And we're seeing it now. We're seeing it in advances like in the chemical recycling world. But we still have so far to go just in basic mechanical recycling.
So getting better every
3 years.
Every time we do the show.
Absolutely.
All right. Madison Burt, CEO from WIMA America, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. This is NPE 2024.
Combine networking, new business deals, and state-of-the-art machines, and you get a buzzing floor here at NPE 2024. Let's take a look at some of our favorite sights and sounds. My first time at NPE, I'm still blown away by
Wait a second, I know you. I know you. We're actually in the same place at the same time.
Finally, you've been seeing me on social too?
I have been seeing you on social, and we want to keep seeing all of you on social as well. So keep using the hashtag NPE2024 when you post all of your photos and videos from the show. We really love to see them. I'm Kara Moore.
I'm Jacob Sanchez, and thanks for watching NPE TV.